The Democratic primary is descending into absolute chaos. Ohio tried postponing. Apparently, a judge intervened. I don't even know what happened. All I know is there was a weird back and forth where people were saying Ohio is not canceling the Democratic primary. Ohio is canceling the primary. Apparently, at the last minute, they canceled the primary. Over in Illinois and Chicago, they are seeing record low voter turnout. I kid you not, nightmarishly bad voter turnout. In Florida, the polling stations aren't even opening and people aren't even showing up. As far as anyone can tell, there is no Democratic primary actually functioning right now. I have no idea what's going to happen. They're going to have to void this election. This is getting crazy. Now, I have the AP Coronavirus Scrambles Democratic contests as 3 states vote. But let me just show you. I want to show you these tweets before coming back to this. Ohio, they've postponed the primary. Florida workers, no show. I kid you not. People showed up to the polls in Florida. Ain't nobody there. Look at these photos I got, man. This is nuts. First, from Dream Defenders. Today is an election day and no one is at the polls. This is the kind of thing we've been hearing all morning. Shame on DeSantis, Florida Secretary of State. This person said someone messaged our students for Bernie group chat saying they were the 9th person to vote at their precinct. Voting has been open for 3 hours. They were the 9th person in 3 hours. It's record turn. Oh man, this is nuts. Check this out. How's your election day going? Says Brian Prigg, Chief Technology Officer at CarePoint. The sign in the window reads, election judges did not show up. Please contact the county which you live in or the voting website for updates. Here's one from Natasha Korecki, Chicago. On call with reporters. The city of Chicago is reporting extremely low turnout the first couple of hours of voting this morning. We did not have a pre-work rush hour type of rush by any stretch of the imagination. In Chicago, in the first hour of voting, there was just under 10,500 voters. In the second hour, 14,400. By contrast, in a low turnout mayoral election, the city can see 30,000 to 40,000 voters in an hour. On Monday, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot noted that early voting had broke World War II era records. Dare I say? Could it have been that people in Chicago and other states were preparing for a major blowout, massive turnout election and the coronavirus hit? So there's a lot of people claiming that this is hurting Trump, but now you've got people claiming it's helping Trump. Literally, people are tweeting out like, who's really benefiting from this? Why would they? Listen, it's Bernie. Bernie is benefiting because Biden's voters aren't going to show up. Now, I guess the problem is Bernie voters don't show up anyway because he has the youth vote. So I don't know who's really benefiting. I'll take that back and say it's a bit facetious. Check out this tweet. This woman tweeted from Chicago, Illinois primary in a pandemic. First polling place closed. It's a daycare. Second polling place turns me away. They don't have the equipment. 7:30 a.m. polls open at 6 a.m. Third polling place, no line, reusing pens, minimal sanitizing. How is this a Democratic election? Not to mention the issues behind requiring in-person voting. What if you're elderly? What if you're immunosuppressed? There is no easy answer here, but as a major U.S. city, we've got to be doing better than this. Why not extend mail-in voting? And yes, they've been called out because apparently they could, and they didn't. This person tweeted, election day so far, 5 to 8 election staff are elderly. We were provided with no cleaning supplies. We are missing an entire blue box, meaning anyone who comes to this precinct cannot vote. Oh, man. We are missing 2 election judges and nobody is answering our calls. Voters now showing up and we have to explain that we don't have the supplies for them to vote. Still no cleaning supplies, off to a great start. Here's another one. So the polling place at Plamosa Elementary just opened an hour ago after a clerk showed up with appropriate equipment, one poll worker said. But as if more couldn't go wrong, the fire alarm went off. What were they thinking trying to have these Democratic primaries right now? It is insane. I don't know what it means. The voter turnout is really low, but I think you're going to find they might not be able to actually shut this down. These might be the results. End of story, which means Biden might actually lose this one. I have no idea. On the TV, they're not even talking about the primaries. Normally on primary days, they have primary watch and they're like, the polls are closing at this time. Nobody's taking any of this serious. It's like it's not even happening. This is crazy, man. Michael Tracy's tweeted, Illinois state law provides for the governor to institute vote by mail procedures in the event of a national emergency being declared. For some unknown reason, Governor J.B. Pritzker refused to follow the lead of Ohio and invoke this power, and the result is chaos. Absolute chaos. Man, I don't know what's going to happen, but I got more. So just the other day, one local network in Illinois accidentally published the results a day early, leading to major cries of conspiracies. Check this out. Oh, I got more for you after this. Station airs Biden-Sanders results graphic day before election. And it says President Democrat Biden 50%, Bernie 45 with Biden in the lead. A video has gone viral that shows an Illinois TV station airing primary election results a day before the election happened, including results showing President Donald Trump winning the Republican primary and results showing Joe Biden beating Bernie Sanders. They say the video mistakenly shared test graphics live. The person who posted the video said, "Now, I think that's fair and probably makes sense. But of course, I'll tell you what people are going to believe. They're going to believe that the DNC made this primary happen because they've already gone to great lengths to rig the whole thing. And that if they stopped now, it would be a wasted effort." No, I'm kidding. I mean, people would actually think that. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I think it's fair to say that this was just a complete error. They do have to make graphics early, and somehow someone put it on TV. So what do you expect? The New York Times now reporting voting postponed in 5 states because of the virus. Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, and Ohio have pushed back their primary elections. Here are the latest updates. No, we get all that. Let's go now to what may be the craziest. The 2020 Democratic race could be frozen in place after Tuesday's primaries. First read is your briefing from Meet the Press and the NBC political unit on the day's most important political stories and why they matter. They say it's likely, if not certain, that today's Democratic presidential primaries in Arizona, Florida, and Illinois will be the last ones for the next 2 months. And it's unclear what exactly is going to happen today in Ohio, where the state's governor said he wouldn't open the state's polling places, defying a judge who declined to postpone the state's primary. It all freezes into place a Democratic nominating contest with uncertainty about when it all begins. All right, conspiracy theory time. Here's what's going to happen. Chaos, calamity. A fight breaks out. Bernie and Biden. Nobody knows how it's gonna turn out. Everything's in chaos, and all of a sudden, somehow, Tulsi Gabbard swoops in, gets the nomination, and runs against Trump. Okay, that's never gonna happen. But she still is in this race, mind you. And that raises questions. I'll read on. And that raises questions about the state of Bernie Sanders' campaign, given that Joe Biden's lead is going to grow after tonight's contests. No, I'm not convinced. If anything would spark young people rioting, it would be them trying to say these are legitimate results if Biden wins. If Bernie wins, they're going to say they're legitimate results. You didn't show up. People are going to be calling for all of these results to be completely voided, man. They say it's growing tonight's contests about the Democratic convention in July and about whether states and the federal government can institute a vote by mail system. Already, Georgia, we went through those states. Here is the state of the Democratic race heading into tonight's contests. Joe Biden leads Sanders by 152 pledged delegates. That's with about half of all delegates now awarded, and it will be about 60% done after tonight. Biden has won 870, yada, yada, yada. To reach the magic number of 1991, Biden will need to win 50% of the remaining unallocated pledged delegates. Sanders will need to win 56%. Those numbers will change after tonight, most likely helping Joe Biden and hurting Bernie Sanders. Here's the tweet of the day. Frank LaRose, as ordered by the Ohio Department of Health Director Dr. Amy Acton, and in consultation with Governor Mike DeWine, Ohio's primary has been postponed. So I'll tell you what, man. Bedlam, chaos, ratings of stores, inmates being released. Have you seen my other segments on this? Governor Cuomo. Now, for those listening on the podcast, it's like the 3rd or 5th time you've heard this, but I got to say it for those just watching the segment, said 45 days is when the peak will hit. If you think things are crazy right now, just wait 1 month before the peak hits. Just wait to the day of that peak in, May or whatever, or April. Beginning of May, we should see the climax of the coronavirus pandemic. And with as crazy as this is, they're saying they could postpone the Democratic race for 2 months. Nah, I think it's going to be worse than that. Some people have speculated that Donald Trump will try and postpone the general election. I think that's getting ahead of ourselves. For the time being, what I can say right now is, dude, these videos and photos are absolutely bonkers. The Associated Press reporting Florida workers don't even show up. I can't imagine how this will play out. I can't imagine anyone would want to accept this stuff, but I'll leave it there. we got more races coming. The news isn't talking about the primary. It's as though it's no primary happening. So I don't know what to tell you. Normally I track this stuff and I'm like, hey, everybody tune in. So-and-so's in the lead. And now it's like there's not even an election happening because everything's shut down. I hope you've prepared. I'll see you all at podcast at 6:30, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. on this channel.